Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not even sure exactly how I'm going to title this yet, but pretty much we're going to be reviewing a bunch of different issue number ones. Try to show them all off real quick. Yeah, we got 5 of them here. I've been trying to pick up more stories. In my most recent videos I've talked about how I've just been reading so many good stories, and I wanted to try to challenge myself by not looking for bad stories but just like seeing what else is out there, because a part of me was feeling like maybe I'm rating all of these comics 5 out of 5s because I'm just sticking to what I know, and so it's making me be comfortable and like just excited with what I already know. Wasn't really getting out of my comfort zone at all. So lately I've just picked up a bunch of different issue number 1s that I've come across. Going in all of these pretty blind. I didn't really know much of anything for them except for a show right here, Moon Knight. This is the one where like I've never read Moon Knight though. Only ever watched the show that was on Disney, which I was extremely sad that they, I think, completely canceled it or canceled season 2. It doesn't seem like it's coming back. But still, this is the one that I had an idea of, and so the rest of them completely zero idea of what was gonna happen. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Just to give you guys also the option to see maybe you want to go pick up a new story. First, we're gonna start off with Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre by Mad Cave. The art style on this cover is really what got me to take a shot on this one, and also the name, obviously. How could you ignore a name like that? Oh, and I missed the first part of it. So the first part of the title is the Laser Drug Force in the Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. That is the full name there. This story to me felt like, do you know when you used to fall asleep and you would wake up at like 2, 3 in the morning, maybe 4 in the morning, and there would be that weird show on like Cartoon Network or something, almost like a Robot Chicken type of vibe. That is kind of what this comic felt like to me. You wake up and you just have no idea what's going on. The art style is kind of cool. You definitely get it all. Like, it's definitely Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. You get it all in one issue, so it is exactly what you would probably imagine for something like this, or maybe even a little crazier than what you're imagining. The dialogue in it is kind of weird at times though, but it's like the dialogue is so bad that it feels like one of those ones where it's like it's supposed to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some characters in it as the story's going on where they just say things that don't exactly like make sense or even fit in with what's happening. I feel like the best way to say it is like this issue felt like a fever dream. Like, the whole thing is just weird. It's all over the place. You are kind of getting the story at the same time, but I don't know, there's like hilarious moments. It's just exactly, I don't know, I feel like the best way to say it is exactly what you would imagine a story like this to be called. It ended with a good plot for issue number 2, so it got a little interesting at the end where maybe you'd want to continue the story if you really like this art style and just like the funny parts of it. I feel like you probably would like it. For me, I think I'm gonna cut it off here, just issue 1. Not really what I'm gonna want to continue picking up. Just not really my vibe, even though it is funny, it's cool, it's a one-off for me. Yeah, I don't think I would care to like keep reading it. And so for that, I would give this one about a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's okay. Yeah, just wasn't my type of story overall, not something I'd really be into long term. With how many comics I pick up weekly, I feel like I gotta be a little picky, and I really only get the ones that I really am interested in what's happening. So like, this is like a funny one. Like, I feel like if you were to keep this like on a coffee table, someone would get a good laugh out of it pretty much. Alright, and then from Image Comics we got Death Fights Forever. Like I said, another one I completely had zero idea what was going on, and I just thought that this cover was really cool. Look at that cover. Like, to me, this is perfect for like a poster somewhere. The writer for this is Andrew MacLean, and I really enjoyed the art style too for this story. It is by, I wrote down the artist, Alexis Zirit. I hope I'm saying that right. The art style was really cool in this though, and I just realized I did not mention the writer for this one, so hold on, give me 1 second real quick. Fred Kennedy is the writer for the Hippopotamus one. Yeah, we got Andrew MacLean for this one right here. And so the art style is very video game-like, which I really liked. I love video games, big video game person. So the fact that that was like the art style at the beginning of this was really cool. I loved the coloring as well. In this story, we get to meet our main antagonist, or what seems like gonna be the main antagonist through the rest of it, which is an interdimensional demon named Lord Slither. And as you could probably guess by that name, he is basically a big lizard. So yes, the story does feature some anthropomorphism. I still don't know how to say that word, but pretty much where like the animals or non-human entities have human-like abilities. And so we have Lord Slither, and then we also have Commander Thunderfang, who is like a big tiger cat. They really don't specify what he is, but he's like a huge cat pretty much. And he seems to be on the good side, the human side. And so the whole issue is kind of taking place like on this battlefield. They're trying to invade Lord Slither in this pyramid thing that he's in. It's really cool. The art, like I said, the art style is kind of cool. I feel like they did a good job at really like letting you learn about the different characters pretty early on. You're not really lost, even though there is a lot going on at the same time. It does a good job at setting up the next issue, but at the same time I felt like I was missing a lot of information, if that makes sense. Like I got a good amount of the story, I know what's to come, but there was still like at the end I was like, I felt like I'm missing something, or like I didn't completely get everything that just happened there. I don't, like there was just parts that felt like they were missing, but I guess maybe that's supposed to keep you coming back. But it's like I feel like I would have came back anyways. There was just still parts, I don't know, like it felt a little incomplete. But I do think mainly because of the art style, the coloring, and the fact that I do somewhat understand what's gonna happen in the issue 2, I am intrigued enough to want to buy issue 2 and come back. My rating for this one would still probably be like a 3.8 maybe. Like it was cool. I definitely feel like the art style was carrying it a bit, at least for me, in my opinion. So I would give it one more chance. So when issue 2 comes out, I'll pick it up again and probably decide how I feel about it at that point. Okay, next up, we got the Marvel Mark Spector, Moon Knight. Like I said, I know a little bit about this, or a little bit about Moon Knight in general, just from the show. For the most part of this story so far, we basically get Mark being like trapped in this almost like loop of living out almost the same day every day. There's this terrorist organization that is kind of holding him, playing mind tricks on him, drugging him to keep doing the same thing every day. They're trying to get some information out of him, we don't know what yet. At the same time, he's imagining Moon Knight, and so this is the part where I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely don't know enough, because he's imagining Moon Knight as if he's a character on TV, like a very well-known character. From what I remember on the show that I watched in Disney, he was not, I mean, I know that was probably more of his origin story, but so I was a little confused on here of how clearly Mark has already been Moon Knight. He already knows he's been Moon Knight before, but he's seeing him in like this third person type of view on a blank screen, but imagining he's singing a theme song. It's very clear that Mark already knows who Moon Knight is, even if he doesn't know it's him exactly, because obviously he has other personalities. But yeah, so through most of the story, we were just getting him living out the same day, watching the terrorists kind of watch him, hoping that eventually he breaks and gives them whatever information. We don't really get that part. And it leads up to us seeing the Zodiac, one of Moon Knight's main villains, most unpredictable villains, makes an appearance. And as very on brand for Zodiac, he does something unexpected. And it was good. Overall, like, I feel like I'm gonna be ranting about this a little bit. I'm trying not to spoil anything for each one of these in case you want to go pick them up. It was a good first issue, not a very exciting issue, not much action at all. Like I said, it's mainly just building up. As I said, he's living the same day every day. We're kind of just getting a little bit of the backstory of what's happening. I think Zodiac making an appearance immediately is pretty exciting though. Definitely intrigues me. I feel like either way I was gonna pick up issue 2. Moon Knight is just one of my favorite characters from the show that I watched. Like I said, never read anything before, but off of that show, I knew he was going to be one of my favorite characters, so when this got announced, I was extremely excited. I don't know if I said it already, but Jed McKay is the writer for him, or writer for this series. Never read anything by him before, so that's going to be new for me too. Definitely picking up issue number 2. I feel like I would just say all of that to say issue number 2 is definitely going to be something I'm looking forward to. If I had to give this one a rating, I would probably give it a 4, maybe going down to like a 3.8 as well out of 5. It was cool, like I said, not a lot of action. A good building block is, I feel like, the best way I could, or the main thing I could just say about it. If you're wanting a lot of action, issue 1 wouldn't really be it. You could honestly wait till issue 2 if you wanted to wait for more exciting things to happen, I'm sure. Alright, now we're jumping back to Image Comics with Radiant Black. Another one I just took a shot on because this cover looked cool. Very emotional series written by Kyle Higgins. I keep forgetting that I gotta mention the writers. Kyle Higgins, I'm a fan of already. I believe that that's who's working on Immortal Legend Batman, which I love that series. When I saw he was the writer for this, definitely took the shot on it. I got this complete like black and white version, which was really cool. This is the first time I got one of these. But as I was saying, very emotional first issue. You get this writer that moved to LA, pretty much fails, collected a bunch of debt, and has to move back with his parents to his hometown, what seems like to be a pretty small hometown. Meets up with his high school best friend, has a night out. He's venting to him pretty much. You're just getting a lot of emotion in this one. Until he eventually finds something that leads him into becoming this character here. It ends off on a very villainous note, I would say. Like I said, try not to spoil too much. But it ended with me almost feeling like, wait, was I watching the good guy or the bad guy? Like, the ending was kind of crazy, or like, not crazy, but definitely made me intrigued enough to be like, okay, I gotta come back. I gotta see what happened in issue 2. Because now I'm a little confused on what direction this character was going in. I definitely like the suit though. Story overall was very well written. Art style wasn't too crazy. Like I said, the suit looks cool, but overall just not like anything to go crazy about. This was definitely the most intrigued one I felt like I was in out of all of them. I would give this one a solid 4 out of 5. Still not a lot of action for issue 1, but enough to make me want to come back. It made you feel connected to the character. And like I said, with the ending, it definitely makes you feel like, okay, I gotta come back and see what happened, because now I'm a little confused on where his morals are at. One more time just to say, 4 out of 5 for Radiant Black. Lastly, we have one that I really thought, like I had high expectations for this one, and not because I knew anything about the character beforehand, because I didn't, but I just thought it looked cool. This is from Marvel. We got Ultraman, The Fall of Ultraman. And I just thought that this cover looked cool. I thought he looked cool. He kind of looked like Ant-Man to me, but I was like, oh, he still looks cool either way. I'm gonna take a chance on it. And I'm gonna say flat out, like, if I could give it like a 0 out of 5, I would. Like, this one was so terrible to me. And I understand I don't know anything about Ultraman. I don't know if there is any. I didn't look up anything. Like I said, I was going into most of these blind. I just wanted to see what the issue ones were gonna be like. I feel like if you can jump into a number 1 issue for a series and be able to just go from there, like it's a number 1 after all. So for the most part, a new reader, at least in my opinion, should be able to jump in on a number 1 and get most of the pieces of what's happening to keep going forward. I had zero idea there was so much dialogue. They were not letting the art tell any part of the story. It was a lot of dialogue, and so much dialogue of things that felt like I was supposed to know, but I obviously don't know. I couldn't even finish it. I was so uninterested midway through that I just stopped, and I was like, this is just not for me or for anybody that just wants to jump in without already knowing something about it. And I was so concerned on like how bad I thought this story was that I went on the Comic Geeks app just to see what other ratings were like, because I still added it to my collection. Obviously I have it, and I'm just gonna go over a couple of the reviews for this one, the top reviews. So the first one we got here is from Tomorrow Night. Maybe I'll pop it up on the screen. I feel like he does a great job at just summing this up. Now this may be on me because I've never read anything Ultraman before this, but what a confusing read. I'm sure there's some background to what's going on, and maybe what it's setting up excites Ultraman fans, but for me, I was very confused and not interested whatsoever. Art was cool though. 1.5 out of 5 or 3 out of 10 is what he would give it. And that's like pretty much exactly how it felt. Like if you're an Ultraman fan, maybe this was all great to you, but let me go through the next. Let's go through the next one and see what else we're missing. Maybe next one we got is from Metron, who says, well, I guess Marvel just decided to force Higgins and Groom, I forgot to say Kyle Higgins is the writer for this too, and Groom to stuff 2 or 3 miniseries worth plot into not only one book but a single issue. I think he did the best he could, and the storylines described could have been really cool had we seen them as actual multi-issue storylines, but for some reason Marvel decided to put it all in one issue. If this wasn't a decision by a creative team, which I doubt, I blame editorial for this issue falling flat. He still gave it a decent rating though, but this definitely steered me away from ever wanting to read another Ultraman series, at least anytime soon. And so that is going to be it for my pretty, hopefully quick reviews on these issue number 1s. The 3 I would be picking up again for issue number 2 is definitely going to be Radiant Black, Moon Knight of course, and giving it one more chance. death fight forever. The ones that will be falling, and I'm just gonna have one and done in my collections. Hippopotamus, Cocaine, Florida Massacre, I definitely said that wrong, but yeah, that, and Ultraman 100% is falling out. If you've read any of these, let me know if my opinions were wrong, or how you felt about them. If you're gonna pick any of them up, let me know. I hope this video was somewhat entertaining as well. This is just an idea I had as I was collecting all of these number ones, so let me know if you enjoyed this, and I can keep doing it for other number ones that come out. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching as always. Like, subscribe, all of that. And until next time, peace.
Duffel bag filled to the teeth. When I look at what I see, I could truly say that's all me. Pack my things up, make some pit stops. Catch me in the hilltops on the side of the country. Came back from being down 1-3. We the 16 Cavaliers, whole team hungry.